Hello viewers, this is OBN Horn of Africa, our weekly program, GADA. Today I have a guest from Oromo State University, Mr. Bekele Lemi, lecturer and researcher at the university. Today we will talk about the GADA system as well as the modern federalism. Stay tuned. Mr. Bekele, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, today we will talk about the GADA system as well as the modern federalism. How do you describe the GADA system, which is a tradition, socio-political of the Oromo people and democratic governance structure?
Yeah, thank you for the chance. As you said, GADA system is can be described as a traditional socio-political system of the Oromo people, which is characterized by democratic governance and also social organization. It is a system by which the Oromo people have defended their territory and also developed their socio-economic life. The system by which they have secured their identity, their language, their culture, and the system that the Oromo people also have brought to the international governance system. When we come to the federalism is also a political system. Of course, is not usually said as a traditional, but as a modern governance system, in which authority is shared between two levels of government. Usually said a central government and regional governments. And also in some countries the authority could be shared between different levels of government, the central, the regional, and also in countries like South Africa, India, Nigeria, they have the third level of government, we call it local governments. And this division of power is constitutionally entrenched and therefore cannot be unilaterally altered. So having at least two levels of government is mandatory for the federal system. And also there are different characters we attribute to federal system, like having umpiring institutions on the authorities divided between the two levels of government. If there is a dispute on those authorities, there should be umpiring institution, and usually it is done through justice or through courts. In our country, through the House of Federation, or sometimes in other countries through referendum. And also, as powers are shared, they cannot be fully divided. So there are areas that they share together. We call them concurrent powers. So in order to perform those concurrent powers as well, they have these institutions we call intergovernmental institutions, in which both levels of government come together and discuss issues. So we can compare or at least see how GADA system and federal system work together, or where they where GADA system can contribute to the modern governance system.
Yeah, let's talk about their difference and similarity. What the GADA system contribute to the modern democracy?
Several contributions are there. The first one is GADA system enhances decentralization of power and leadership rotation. Here in GADA system, power cannot be concentrated to one person. It encourages always community participation. And also leadership is rotated every 8 years. So officials in the leadership, they will not be in power throughout their life or for a longer period of time, and therefore the authority is rotated. GADA system, by doing this, of the population. In another word, it contributes to the constitutional way of exercising power. That is, we call it constitutionalism. That means there is rule of law. There is constitutionalism. Powers, functions, authorities cannot be unilaterally or arbitrarily exercised. It is limited. So it is within the constitutional or legal system. For this, the Oromo people have this customary law. We call it Sera. That customary law, it guides and also generally it teaches how to live by guiding behaviors, by indoctrinating members of the community, and also by adding values of living together. Not only this one, decisions always we pass in GADA system is based on consensus. So this consensus-based decision making is exercised in GADA system. It is not based on majority rule. That means every segment in the society, they have their own saying. And if the issue in discussion is still in question, meaning they cannot come up with ultimate solution, they put the issue and it will remain till consensus is reached.
Definitely.
And this is very important, and this is what to also contribute is, to the governance system. The other important element is, as I said, community participation. Community participation is essential, and therefore everyone has his or her own saying in this one. The other important element we can talk in relation to GADA system's contribution is intergenerational responsibility. Here, GADA system is based on age set, and therefore responsibilities are distributed intergenerationally. As I said, it doesn't concentrate on certain age group or so. For example, at certain age group, you learn certain responsibility, so you are expected to discharge certain responsibility and also feel responsible on issues that are, for example, meant for the society at large. This is very important. The other essential element I could talk is it integrates cultural elements, values to the system that is more or less related to federalism. So, and the other important element that GADA system contributes to the governance system is it is inbuilt conflict resolution mechanism. In GADA system, there are different inbuilt conflict resolution mechanisms through which society members are held or cooperate, live together in peace, or if there is a dispute, through which they overcome that dispute or solve it. In this way, for example, if you think council's meeting, or we can say elders council, Bagadas themselves, they mediate by bringing the disputants and then they mediate between the two, so that the two parties will reach on a mutual agreement. Not only this one, in GADA system we have this also, we call it community assembly. That community assembly is a system in which community members, they come together and discuss the issue openly, so that the issue is publicly discussed and an agreement is reached. Also, mediation and negotiation could be a part of mechanisms that the system could contribute. Public apology and reconciliation is also there. A person who has made a fault, he is brought to the public and then asks for apology and for reconciliation, as GADA system primarily focuses on restoration, not punishment. Through this, they build that one. So restorative justice is there, public hearing is there, mediation is there, and others are also there, through which the GADA system really contributes to the modern governance system, particularly to conflict resolution mechanism.
Yeah, that's great. What's the unique features of the GADA system that modern federalism could learn or could aspire from the GADA system?
Primarily, what comes in my mind is the way through which responsibilities, socialization, duties, they are allocated. For example, in GADA system, even though people usually say traditional, your right to vote has its own age.
Yeah.
And when to marry is also part of that. But when it comes to federalism, the issue that federalism could learn from GADA system is how the GADA system promotes unity and also cohesion among society members. Federalism, when it solves one particular problem, usually it fails to reconcile the emerging problems, unless and otherwise you have commitment for that.
Sure.
If leadership is not committed in federalism, as what has happened in Ethiopia for the last almost 30 years, almost 27 years, federalism in Ethiopia partly solved, or I can say has solved nationality questions of 1991. Issues that are related to identity, issues that are related to language, culture, self-determination issues, including self-governance. But through time, as the leadership concentrated power into the center, federalism became mere administration, has not been practiced the way it has to be practiced. But in GADA system, power cannot be concentrated. It cannot be concentrated to certain center. Federalism depends on leadership, as I said, commitment and aspiration, depends on leadership competency. But GADA doesn't, meaning in GADA system already it is scheduled, it is already there, it is based on age set. You cannot be in power for more than 8 years. Already it is limited. You cannot concentrate power to certain ethnic group or to certain clan or to certain issue. The other important thing that I think they could learn is how Gada, Luba himself is elected. Election of Gada, Abba Gada or Luba doesn't depend on biological age. It depends on competency, your performances in the past, especially in previous age group. Beginning from, for example, on the last 3 years of Gamme Gurgudda, meaning from almost 22 to 25, after passing through different socialization processes, Adula is elected. Okay. Adula Council is elected. And then in that Adula Council, different trainings are given. So once your age is about 20 to 23, then you are sent to apprenticeship for practicing what you have learned in GADA system. So throughout the remaining 16 years until 40, you will demonstrate all your performances. For example, if you are really capable in water, riding horse, really articulating social issues, defending your country, defending your people, you will be evaluated throughout 16 years, for the remaining 16 years. And then lastly, at 40, your performance matters to be elected into the GADA Council. So it is purely competency based. But in federalism, that is not always. If it is based on, for example, identity, it is based on mobilization of politics, competence may not be a matter. Your line could be counted to assume a leadership position. So this and others could be lessons that GADA system could contribute to, or the federalism can learn from GADA system, I think.
Perfect. You've already raised, there are grids, the GADA system, which provide to every member of the society, that responsibility and getting to the system. This is all about the GADA system provide to the membership. What about federalism?
Federalism inherently it promotes, of course, rule of law, of course, implementation of constitutionalism, but still it depends on the capacity of the society. For example, if the society is educated, if the leadership is really committed, as I said, and also if the population is large, the country is large, as usually federalism is accused for multiplication of services, multiplication of responsibilities, it still requires, for example, existence of resources. But in GADA system, for example, at the age of just 24, 25, even beginning from this Gamme Gurgudda, you start learning how to be self-sufficient for your remaining years.
Economically as well as leadership.
Leadership. You will start learning leadership, how to lead your people. At the same time, you will also learn how to be self-sufficient economically. Yeah. So that if you get, for example, the chance to be a Bagada, every success or failure is attributed to you. It is said, Yero Bagada Sana, that the success has come. Or if there is a crisis as well, attributed to you. And it is difficult to breach, for example, the GADA set, A set. You need to go in that way. And for example, if you are capable, if you are to be examined to be a capable person, you will assume position, as I said. But your thinking capacity is examined, even taught through different ways, like, for example, riddling, through puzzling, and you learn, for example, through gerarsa, through praising, or farsa, we call it. You learn how to be a strong warrior, how to be a strong leader, how to defend your country, value your society. And the other important thing I want to raise in this regard is at your childhood that you learn how to respect people. Humanity is the center of GADA system. So dignity, respect for humanity, and also the nature as well. You start learning this attributes, even about patriotism, loving of your country, your land, your people. So these are very important. Not only that one, GADA system also contributes through its division of systems. Like there are 3 organs of government, you know. In the GADA Council, there are 3 organs of government as well. So more or less, for me, GADA system is stronger as compared to federalism, as federalism is man-based or dependent on the commitment of leadership, dependent on the political will of, but that doesn't. You cannot assume leadership more than 8 years.
In the GADA system.
In the GADA system.
Yeah, that's great. How does the GADA system facilitate governance and the decision has been made in the community?
Yeah, as I said, GADA system usually promotes community participation. So community participation is highly integrated into the governance system. And decision making is usually, as I said, consensual. It is based on consensus. You cannot, here, in federal system, as it depends on, for example, majority rule. Majority rule.
Federalism?
Federalism.
No.
Yeah, for example, decisions in the parliament, they are passed usually based on majority. But in GADA system, it is based on consensus. Agreement. Abulto is there.
Yeah.
Abulto is there. Abulto meaning so that every voices will be heard and listened, and consensus will be reached. As I said, GADA system usually promotes restorative justice. Doesn't promote punishment. So decision is consensual, as I said, and community participation is at the center of the GADA system.
Good. How do you see the future of the GADA system in relation to Ethiopia's national politics?
Yeah, GADA system contributes indigenous values. So if we are willing to integrate those values into our governance system, hopefully it will solve different conflicts that we today face. Political conflicts as well as also quote-unquote, inter-ethnic. I cannot boldly say inter-ethnic, but there are certain cases where members of certain groups, they conflict with one another. So GADA system surely contributes for this conflict resolution. And also through coming up on decision based on agreement that is based on consensus. So for our today's political system, look, it teaches us how to stick to societal values, how to integrate our indigenous values into our governance system, and how to live in peace and harmony with different diversity groups, with religion, with culture, with language diversities. GADA system also teaches us how to rotate leadership. Power is not concentrated into certain person's hand or certain clan's hand, and therefore it is rotated. And at the center of democracy is usually limitation of power. So limitation of power is also part of the GADA system. So for our political system, if we are ready to learn from the GADA system, there are several values that GADA does have in order to have peace, harmony, and also modern governance system.
Yeah, that's great. If you have any final message, this day is yours.
Yeah, these days the country is working on different reconciliation processes, and therefore let us inculcate GADA values into those processes, so that we will build commonalities for which we are striving for.
Yeah, Mr. Bekele Lemi, lecturer and researcher at Oromo State University, we really appreciate for your time and vivid explanation.
Thanks again for having me.
Dear viewers, that brings us to the end. Thank you for being with us. Till next edition, have a wonderful time.